Hi guys, it's Danny. Alrighty, today we're gonna take a look at some of my orchids. I have some requests for some updates on some of my orchids. So I'm gonna show you a few of my orchids, tell you how they did, even though they're not necessarily doing something spectacular, but just so you see how they are. So Anna Maria asked me to make an update on the Chysis bractescens orchid. So as you can see, last year she grew, or he grew, he's a boy, okay, so he grew a much larger pseudobulb than the previous year, so that's really good. However, he's just now kind of starting to lose some of his leaves. I always water this guy. Even though he is deciduous, he does not take any type of winter dormancy break and all of that. I know some people suggest that you water less or give it a dry rest. It doesn't work, really. You'll notice the older pseudobulb go not shriveled, but horribly shriveled if you miss 2 days of watering. So no, I would suggest that you don't give any type of rests. If in your winter time the climate changes, you might water less because water evaporates slower, but that's about it. So this is my Chysis right now. He's still a very big boy. He's doing fine, and I do believe he's starting to grow. I think I have here a node that is starting to plump up. Hopefully you can see it. And this guy, for me, as it grows a new growth, it loses the previous leaves, and hopefully from this new growth it will bloom this year. I don't know. If it will bloom, I will probably have it on transport while it blooms, and that's not funny. So I'm really not expecting a great deal of success with this one this year. But health-wise and everything, he's going quite well. He's a little bit crazy. If you see these roots, they're going into the air searching for something. And it's not moisture, trust me. There's no moisture up there. This is how they grow, really. They just search for stuff to attach to in all directions. That's my opinion, because I have quite a lot of orchids which just go for the skies and without any particular reason. There's really no humidity in my skies. It's just a wall. Alrighty, this is my Dendrobium parishii. I was discussing with one of my viewers about this guy, and he was telling me that his Dendrobium parishii did not take quite the break this winter. He kind of skipped it and went into full growing mode without actually blooming or anything. And what mine does, it has a long dormancy. It starts to lose leaves in September or something like that, loses leaves pretty fast, and from the autumn until the spring, he's this. Nothing else. I barely, if at all, spray a little bit the media. He does not get shriveled. I absolutely don't water this guy during winter because he doesn't need it. But I'll give an update on this guy. Last year he didn't really do anything for me. The roots were desiccated and dried, and yeah, he was in a bad shape. This year, however, the roots are pretty okay on this guy. He has started new growth. Let me give you a close-up. Hopefully you can see it there. Yeah, he started new growth, but also I suspect he is putting out a nubbin right there. I just noticed it. So hopefully he will bloom this year for me. Last year he produced a nubbin right here, but it didn't develop. It just produced the buds, and at some point it dried and focused on growing its new growth. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen this year. Maybe last year he didn't have enough energy due to the loss of roots. I don't know, but I really hope I get to see a bloom from this guy. He's supposed to be fragrant. So this is how my parishii is doing. He takes the longest dormancy out of all my orchids, really, and he looks awful for 6 months. Not necessarily 6, but 3-4 months. And yeah, it's not surprising with these types of dendrobiums, and it's also not surprising that you don't have any dormancy at all. It really depends how seasoned it is. Mine kind of seasoned itself pretty well in my environment. And here is my Cattleya Jungle Eyes. Am I zoomed in? I was. So as I was saying, yeah, she had a bud right here, and you can see how fast this bud developed. But I would just like to show you how pretty the bud is. I'll give you a close-up now. So if you can see, the bud is really purpley in color. I suspect this one will be rather an orangey solid color with dots rather than yellowish solid color. There is a bit of variety with this hybrid. If you look for this on the internet, you'll see different looking flowers. I think I prefer the orangish type better. I don't have a pretty good light now, do I? Yeah, and I don't have a steady hand, but I absolutely love these spots on the buds. Hopefully this camera focuses. How pretty is that? I suspect this will be a beautiful, beautiful bloom. And as you can see, this orchid has the potential to be bifoliate. or unifoliate, and mine just seems to want to bloom on a unifoliate suitable. It has to do with the genetics, really, nothing else. But yeah, this orchid can also produce 2 buds. I've actually seen it produce 2 buds, no more than 2 buds, but yeah, it can bloom with 1. So the funny thing about this one, I'm not sure what induced it into blooming. However, ever since I purchased it, it did not bloom, but each time the canes develop more. So the first cane produced in my care on this division is this one. It's a unifoliate, or that one. One of these two, because it produced a lot of canes. And then it went on creating a bifoliate cane, and then it created another bifoliate cane, which had a little bit of a nubbin, in the middle. But nothing developed, it dried. And this time we have a bud. So yeah, progression. So anyway, I'm not sure why it took so long to bloom, but I'm happy it is blooming now, and the bud is spectacular. Hoping it's a sort of a orangish variety, because I do prefer orange over yellow somehow. Alrighty, and here is my Kirchara orchid. The full name is Kirchara Jairak spot lip, something like that. Anyway, somebody was asking me about Kircharas and how to care for them. So here is mine. This is actually a Cattleya family orchid. It's an intergeneric, very complex hybrid, but it does take the same care as a Cattleya orchid. This is pretty much how I grow it. As you can see, pretty bright light. The sun hits it through the sheltered windows, and I do water it whenever the media gets dry. I actually let it be dry a few days in between. I just watered this, I think, yesterday. So you can see everything is going quite nice, and yeah, pretty much if you have a Kirchara, I would just give it Cattleya care. I don't think it needs anything in particular rather than Cattleya care. So this is my Kirchara. Not sure if she's gonna bloom anytime soon, but she's pretty healthy. Okay, this is my Lituria type Dendrobium. You really didn't see this for a while. This is the spectabile, big devil, beautiful orchid. I cannot wait for it to bloom. This guy created a new suitable for me this year. It's this one, and as you can see, it is quite smaller than the previous one. To be expected, he had to adapt to my environment. Root system was not the best. However, ever since I got him, he created a beautiful root system. Actually, it's growing quite nice. He also grew this cane right here, and this cane is producing some new roots of its own. And I absolutely love how glossy the leaves are. Oh my goodness, the spider mites did not attack this guy, but he is prone to spider mites. Somehow they missed him. I'll take care of it. He will not get attacked by spider mites. Now, with these types of orchids, I kind of read that they kind of need a sort of a rest during winter time. I tried it. It didn't work. Everything got very, very shriveled. I actually watered this guy today because he started to get shriveled. And the shriveling occurs really fast. There's a difference between having an orchid that gets shriveled a little bit in a week, and you have a difference with this guy, which gets shriveled if you miss a day of watering. So for this guy, no rest quite at all. I don't have enough experience with this guy and with these types of Dendrobiums. I'm winging it, but I can tell you that this little guy was thirsty during my winter time, and he kept growing roots, and the pseudobulb actually matured a while back, but he kept growing roots and so on. He kept needing water, and I watered it. I am not expecting any blooms anyway, because it's a new orchid. I think he has to be a little bit bigger than this to actually be able to bloom. But this is how he's doing. He looks splendid. See what no spider mite does? Beautiful orchids. Yeah, I hope he stays this way. Okay, sorry about the light changing all the time, but yeah, my sky is really weird today. This is the Jiminy Cricket, Brassavola Jiminy Cricket. I actually kept a division, and I gave one of the divisions to Anna Maria. And here it is. I don't know if you know the story of this one. I had it mounted. I had the sensation it needed more moisture and more water. I unmounted it. I kept a portion on the mount, which died of desiccation, and 2 of the segments I placed just in a layer of wet sphagnum moss, and I just forgot about them here, really. Well, I didn't forget about them, but you know. And yeah, they did so well. They just produced new growths and new roots, and this is one of the divisions that I will keep. This is the new growth. I'm not expecting blooms or anything this year, but she is doing quite well. I will take her with me, and really for this one as well, I just give basic Cattleya type care. Nothing major. I give her quite a lot of bright light, and she seems to enjoy it. But I cannot wait to actually get her potted up in a very airy media actually, because as much as Cattleya type orchids, Brassavolas and everything related, as much as they like to dry out and be ventilated, that's a key word with Cattleyas, they absolutely do not like to stay dry for long periods of time. The sicker an orchid is, the less it will be able to cope with dryness. So it's better to provide rather constant moisture and a lot of ventilation at the same time than to have soggy media for a week and then let it stay dry for another 5 days. I don't find that it works particularly well with Cattleyas. I think the key is to have moisture, yes, but also a ton of ventilation. A ton! This is not even potted. They just grew in the air with the humidity from the moss. So yeah, look at these roots. Beautiful, beautiful roots. So yeah. Oh, I'm going to show you a comparison between these roots and something grown in water, so you can see why I don't like the water thing. Okay, here's an encyclia. This is actually related to Cattleyas. Look at these roots. They look like water roots, yeah. They actually didn't really grow in water, although they touched the water sometimes. They grew in a very, 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 very humid and non-ventilated environment type of. It doesn't mean they cannot grow. As you can see, they can try to develop. However, I don't like them. I don't know. They look flimsy. They look like they're about to snap at any time and just quit on life somehow. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe my eyes are biased or I'm just imagining things, but this... Okay, a lot of root growth, yes, but look at the color, look at the consistency, you see? And now compare them to these. I know, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just mistaken. I have another example. Look at this one. It's another encyclia. Look at the roots. They're just, okay, they're growing. And again, this is not sitting all the time in water, but when it's sitting in water, it's too much humidity and too little ventilation for my taste. And I don't know. I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. But these roots, wow, yeah. I'm not gonna mention water culture ever again, actually, because, I don't know, I just feel like I'm offending people, and I don't want to offend people. It's just, I get scared. So when I see this, I get really freaked out. They just look struggling. But I'll not mention water culture again to not offend anybody. If you like it, go ahead, use it. I don't like it, I hate it, I will never use it. Alrighty, so these were the updates. But before I let you go, I want to share something amazing with you guys. My brother and my sister-in-law actually started gardening, and it was the first year they set in their new home, gardening and so on. And my sister-in-law made a video right here together with my equipment, my camera, and her expertise, and it turned out to be such a wonderful experience. And she made a video on it, and she's gonna post a series of videos regarding gardening and how they did stuff, and just a presentation so you see what you can do by yourself, completely by yourself. And I find it really, really nice. And when I'm gonna move, I'm gonna get some tomato seeds and stuff they planted last year that I absolutely loved, because trust me, last year my family did not buy tomatoes at all, or pickles in the autumn. We just ate whatever we made in the garden. I find it amazing, and I'm gonna take some seeds with me to Cyprus, so I'm gonna plant some stuff. But yeah, do watch my sisters-in-law video, because it's really wonderful and motivating, and I'm starting to like this idea of a self-sustaining life, in the sense that I don't need to buy vegetables if I can grow them. So if you have some space, maybe not to the extent of what my brother has, although he doesn't have all that much, but yeah, you can definitely plant a few plants, and trust me when I say they're gonna last you, really. So do check it out. It would mean a lot for my sister-in-law if you would watch her video and, you know, leave her a comment, say hi and all of that, because my sister-in-law is just a beautiful person and I love her. And what they're doing is amazing, and they're gonna grow, and hopefully her channel will grow as well. Thank you, and thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more videos from me, simply subscribe to my channel. I post on a regular basis. Also, feel free to leave me comments, suggestions, or questions you might have in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you. If you click on the left side of your screen, you'll be directed to orchidnature.com, where you'll find care sheets, identification sheets, and also you can talk to us in the forum section. And on the right side of your screen, you can click to watch another orchid video. Thank you for joining. I'll see you next time. Bye!